Welcome to the very first episode of my monthly newsletter for my practice called Integrative Homeopathy. My name is Katie Cunha. I've been practicing homeopathy for about 8 years, taking clients. I live in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I have 3 kids, and I just love what I do. And I created this newsletter and my practice to just help people, and the newsletter to just give you insights on what's going on in the world of homeopathy, some things that I'm seeing, some little tips that might help you in this certain time of the year. Here we are, late October, and just some different things to think about as your month goes on that could help you with your health. So so what I've been seeing in the month of October is there seems to be a new virus going around. Even the CDC kind of announced that there's this mycoplasma pneumonia. So what I've seen from clients and heard from other people is that it starts out looking like COVID, just a runny nose, sore throat, fever, cough, even some gastric symptoms. And then it turns into, and it just is this cough that never ends. So, and then what's interesting is it will turn it like you'll go in maybe to the doctor and they'll they'll do an x-ray and they'll say, oh, everything looks fine, and send you home. And this happened to actually my daughter, and all of a sudden, the cough just doesn't go away, and you go in again, and it's like a mycoplasma pneumonia, so a bacterial pneumonia is what's happening. It could be a new variant, could be, who knows where these viruses are coming from nowadays. But what I have seen that might help you guys get through it is, as soon as you see these symptoms, use your COVID remedies. So your gelsemium, eupatorium, bryonia. And I'm going to have underneath this video, everything's going to be written out because I know it's hard to spell things in homeopathy sometimes. So use your COVID remedies to just help push it out. And it's just as much as possible. And then I would do the rinse called Xlear. So Xlear, and I would do the nasal rinse, 2 sprays every 2 hours for the first 24 hours. Of course, not at night. So I would do that. What that does is helps to kind of unstick the spike protein from the sinus and the throat, to get that virus out of your system as soon as possible. And if you can do that and those 3 remedies, and I would hit those 3 remedies, 1 pellet every 3 hours for the first 24 hours, you really have a much better chance of not letting this virus settle into the system, because that's really what it's all about. If you can catch it early, it makes a huge difference. You're really not going to get a bad case. But if you don't, and it starts to turn into pneumonia, there are remedies for pneumonia as well. So you have hepar sulfur, pneumonia coccinum. I've even seen the remedy ivermectina that actually kind of helps unstick it, because it is like antiparasitic, because this pneumonia is really difficult to get rid of. You can also do hydrogen peroxide. I usually do a 1-to-5 ratio. So if you do 1 tablespoon of hydrogen peroxide, the kind you get at Walgreens, and then 5 tablespoons of water. So, and you kind of mix that up and just gargle with it. Some people do a neti pot rinse. Now, if that starts to burn the nasal passages, then I wouldn't do it anymore, but usually the throat can handle it a little bit more. So those are my best recommendations for this new virus. They don't really even have a name for it yet, but that's how it's presenting. So everybody just be aware of that. Have those remedies on hand. If you're seeing flu, which flu is still going around, osculococcinum is a great one. You'll see it at your natural stores. It's a little orange and white bottle. You actually only need 2 pellets of those. They'll say to take the whole tube. Only 2 is just fine. Usually every 3 to 4 hours, and you're good. There's some other great flu remedies. I like gelsemium for flu as well, bryonia, baptisia, pyrogenium, and eupatorium. Now, eupatorium is if you're really just achy physically, you can use those. There are remedies for long COVID as well. So if you're feeling like you have COVID, or you get any virus really, and it's just hanging around and you're tired and you just can't bounce back, Kali carbonicum is great for just strengthening the system. I've even used it for women that their labors are stalled out. So you just get the body a push. Silicea, also really great. Like if you're fighting multiple things at a time, let's say you got a cough and a runny nose, then you got allergies, you know, use Silicea. It just gives you that little boost that you need during sickness. Also, there are a lot of like fall allergies happening right now. So if you read my book, which this is not a, everybody has to have it, but in my book, it's called Integrative Homeopathy. You can find this on Amazon. It's $19.99. It's well worth your money. It's a short book, but it has a lot of different remedies. So in the back of the book, I mean, there's lots of different information, but in the back there's great remedies for all kinds of things. You have allergies, athlete's foot, it's all in alphabetical order, breastfeeding problems, bronchitis, bugs and bug bites, burns, even things like cervical cancer. So you got like really everyday things and then heavy things. Common cold, then you have concussions, congenital heart disease. So this information has been gathered from lots of different sources. I just tried to make it concise for you to just be able to have a quick guide to look things up. So there are some remedies in here for allergies if you want to try some of those. Otherwise, try to get in with me. Now I do have other colleagues that are, if you can't get in with me because I have a long waiting list still, I do have other colleagues now that are practicing that do a really great job. If you have something more serious that you really want to be seen for, and our prices are really reasonable. But anyways, back to some of the advice. I also recommend just some things to keep your immunity strong is, you know, vitamin D. You at least need 20 minutes of like sun on as much skin as possible every day. If you can't get that, 5,000 IU of like either a spray or, you know, supplements of your vitamin D, especially throughout the fall and winter season when it gets dark and not as sunny. If you do feel like you're going through long COVID, I would up your zinc, because zinc is going to help the body recover and build those like tissues that have been kind of ripped through, because COVID's just such a brutal virus. And also great one too for post-COVID for like the spike protein damage, and even people who've had the vaccine or been exposed to vaccine shedding. You have dandelion and white pine needle tea. So they're two separate teas. Dandelion white pine needle tea. Also just keep your sugar intake, refined sugar, refined flour. Keep your sleep, at least men have to get definitely no less than 7, women no less than 8 hours of sleep. Low stress, just keep your immune system. A lot of you already know all of these things. But so I have a website for more information and resources. So I do have the book. I have a video course if people want to learn how to do muscle testing on their own. All that information is there. I even have a professional course now for people who want to study homeopathy and have a practice of their own. So those links are all there. My website is called Integrative Homeopathics, just how you'd expect it to be spelled, .com. So integrativehomeopathics.com. And also email me with topics or questions. So each month, if you're like, hey, can you talk about this? Feel free to shoot me an email, shoot me a text. My email is kunyakatie, so CUNHAKATIE @yahoo.com. And my cell phone number is 903-932-4399 if you'd like to just shoot me a topic, something you're interested in. Or if you just want to ask a question about homeopathy, I do have a Facebook group. It's called Integrative Homeopathy, and it has the same little orange flower, and you can go there and post comments, and there's lots of people from all over the world that are really happy to help and give you advice on different questions you might have, and there are resources there as well. So I hope you guys have a good month, and we'll see you again next time. Bye.